Hello, good morning. Oh, that's loud. Okay. Hello and good morning. I've been having a little bit of issues with my microphone today. It wasn't recognized, so I traced the cables and tried resetting them, and then it came in at like half the volume that it normally does, which is fun. And so now I set the gain way up. But it's almost as if it's like a gate falling off. It's acting a little bit weird. I don't like it. But I don't really know what I could do with this. Let's see. Okay, so I have multiple things giving me gain. Some of them are giving me negative. Okay, hold on. Let me try resetting some of this stuff. Let's see if it makes it sound any better. Let's go back to default for normal gain. That makes me really quiet. Let's do compressor gain. See if that sounds a little bit better. Maybe I have to bring that gain way up here, but it's a little bit better looking than just the normal gain. Oh, I have expander too. That has some gain. Oh, but that's set to 0. Okay. Well, this might be okay. We'll see how this goes. I wonder if it was a software problem before and not a cable problem. All right, let's see. Oh, other things. I want to reset my... I think I have a... let's see. Zellij, course articles. Yeah, I don't have a ZCA. I want to kind of reset this to be... I want to add this as an article, but the idea here... Oh, I don't have a layout for this either. I created some layouts yesterday, and I left them on the other profile, but I did put them on GitHub, so I can go and pull them down. I don't believe I have any of them here. Okay, so I have Zellij setup. Do I have Zellij? Is it Zellij setup or is it Zellij config? We are gonna find out. Okay, so I have my ZSH config. I'll need that. I have Zellij config, not Zellij setup. So let me pull that in. I haven't created a script to sort of copy this in, which I probably should. But I went through and I copied I went through all the like possible config options, and I set ones that I feel are good that I want. It wasn't that, it was config. All right, so I have a new config here and I have some layout. I have a layout. So if you take a look at the config, I basically just copied in exactly what they have on GitHub and then uncommented the overwrites. But this shows like everything that you can possibly do here, which I kind of like to have that in the config. That way, if I ever want to see like, okay, what is the default for like, switching to normal mode or doing something like that, I can actually do that now. So I have that now. I haven't reset up like sync thing or something else because I was having trouble with just this computer. So I need to set up some kind of like server here to make that work. And I haven't had time for that yet. So instead, this will be a manual process. So we'll just copy the config to now layouts. I have two layouts right now. We have the default, which doesn't really do anything different than what we have right here. And then course articles one, which is for us writing and working with course articles. So I want to add that one in. Okay, and then finally, I have a .zshrc, which I updated. Soapy, hi. You want to hang out? Sort of. Okay. Let's see if ZilbyCam works today. That would be a no so far. Trade. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let's try putting it up above my head again. I don't really know best place to put Zilby right now. Oh, and it froze when I did that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my OBS on my Windows computer. It the video for this is happening multiple times. The video for this is freezing constantly, and I don't know if that's just the camera or something else. But it wasn't before I sort of unplugged everything and switched it over. So that's not great. I don't have any filters on it. I can deactivate when you're not showing. Let's try doing device default for everything. Okay, let's see how that goes. I reset the settings for the camera, so we'll see if it's happy. Okay, then so we have you back down to here. Okay. All right, so theoretically, if I open up a new tab, this should be happy now. So let's try it. Or I can resource it, but I'm a big fan of opening up a new window just in case things aren't good. I can sort of recover it. I changed the theme for Oh My ZSH. You're upset. No such file or directory. Docker should be up and running. Oh, because it's looking in here for this like init stuff. I don't know if I really need that in there. Let's fix that. One thing is I want this to be more safe on, like to know that it's safe on stream. And one way to do that is to make sure it's on GitHub. So if I know that, I will, I'll definitely have to be more safe with it. Now this initially, Docker Desktop added in something in here to say like, hey, load this up, and it loaded up for the other profile, which is completely useless for me. So I went ahead and removed that. Let's see. So if I do that, I thought that was it. Wait a second. I loaded the wrong one. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. I'm in main 3 times. Why am I in main 3 times? What? How did I get that? Well, that's fun. Ooh, and I want to try one thing. So while we're doing setup stuff, okay, let me update cat cam so that I can say, okay, scene back main cat, turn you off. Okay, so can I turn off cat cam? I can. And now I want to see if I can reposition cat cam to actually face the cat, because I got an extender for the USB cable. Okay, let's see if I position that correctly. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see. Wait, is it not moving? Yeah, it is moving. Okay, Zellij's just standing still. So yeah, now I can reposition and see Zellij's face every time that he repositions and moves, which might get it a little annoying, but hopefully it should be fine. He often does hang out there, though, sort of like facing the wall, so this might be a good position anyways. Okay, so there's that. I'm a little bit concerned about the theme showing that we're in the main branch 3 times over here. That's a bit odd. So first of all, let's push that change up. And then I'm interested, if I cd back, I cd back into ZSH con. Yeah, you're still in 3 mains. How about any of the other ones? Like if we go to course articles, 3 mains here too. So I'm trying to use the theme Galois, because it looks fairly simple. It has it basically just has this here, It shows me where I am, and then it shows the branch that I'm on. But this seems to be a bit of a, I don't know if that's a bug or if I've somehow got multiple things in here. I'm not sure how, like, why that's showing up. That seems to be a bit odd. And if we take a look at you, yeah, you should be the same thing. So if we do, I was using that for the longest time. I wanted to see if maybe like a simpler one would be better, especially when I'm recording. But yeah, we can go back to that. Hello, Stacking. How are you doing today? And everything else is the same as I have there. So I don't know why I'm getting 3 mains. Yes, I'd be crazy streaming early this on a holiday. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally forgot. Today, if you're an American, is a national holiday. It is Labor Day, the one day a year we celebrate labor. And a good number of us get the day off on this day. The same with me. I decided that I'm going to stream early today, and then I can take the rest of the day off. And that way I have like the majority of the day feeling that I accomplished something, and then just don't have to do anything. Like maybe I'll just play Baldur's Gate 3 on my own or something like that. And I won't have to, feel bad about it. Because we Americans also somehow manage to have lots of guilt when we don't work. So that's really cool. Okay, so well, I mean, if that's not gonna work, I did update on my ZSH earlier, but let's try. Okay, let's try resetting everything. Let's quit. This is what do I think this is? That was not Helix. Okay, let's actually just quit Alacritty and open up again. This worked on my other profile just fine. All right, before I open up Zellij, let's go into so that just shows one there. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, and that just shows one there. Okay, I'm happy with this so far. All right, other things to update. So we got Zellij, we've got that ZSHRC. I updated my one for Alacritty too. Let's go find that one. Oh, and I updated Helix too. I don't know if there's anything important for me to do inside of here. I don't think I even touched languages. I left that the same. So we just have all these. So that's fine. Config. I think I just sort of left that the same too. I don't think I have anything special in here, so I'm going to skip that one right now. Alacritty I did go through. So I copied the entire, I copied everything in, and then I just uncommented those, which I think are important. So one thing that I think is, if you're trying to use Alacritty, it tries to set the term to Alacritty, which has interesting side effects. Usually not great side effects. Like, things usually work, but for example, on a Mac, backspace is like a strange thing. It's not Control H, and so I have, or maybe it is Control H. I can't remember anymore. Maybe it's something else. But anyways, it just stops working. So I have to set the term to xterm, and then that makes it just fine. The colors are still working here, so I didn't feel the need to do xterm 256 color. Also, if you're attempting to SSH into another system, it's going to set Alacritty as like the terminal that you're requesting, which is really not going to work at all unless you have Alacritty installed over there, but I can't imagine that you're going to. I tried playing with windows for like auto full size, and I got weird stuff when I'm trying to move them from one window to another. But yeah, I'm attempting to do maximized, and it kind of works. I also noticed that I can set this to a dark variant, so I can say like, "Hey, you're in dark mode. Here is this thing that we found the other day." So Option is Alt. So if you're on a Mac, make the Option key become an Alt. I'm on a Windows keyboard, so therefore it's always just labeled Alt, so it just makes sense. Your phone heard you say Helix, which just gave you an ad, and apparently they have a mattress named Helix. Really? I should that'd be funny to reach out and get like sponsorships for random places that just happen to have the same names for stuff that I'm working on, and just say, hey, I do a lot, I stream with Helix all the time. Like I'm in Helix every stream. You should add me in. They'll be really excited until they find out that I have nothing to do with their actual product. Okay, font, that's fine. Where I'm gonna experiment with the Retina font, see if it's any good. That should be good for 4K type stuff. I noticed that Furicode does not have an italic font, so I just left those undone. I'm gonna try with 24 size. I think previously it was 18, or maybe 24 is what I have right now. And I added this on for hints, and I have yet to see anything happen with it. So I have no clue what that's gonna do for me. And there's so many things you can configure with Helix. It's pretty interesting. Also, I forgot, I constantly forget how to go into Vim mode inside of Helix. And the few times I've tried, I think it worked, but I also think it didn't work. It was interesting. So I'm not sure. Like, there's obviously lots of things that we can do with Vim mode. But so many of these I'm just leaving as default and not touching it at all. All right, there's that. So let's pull this down. Update my Alacritty config, and that should just auto update as soon as I do it, because one cool thing about Alacritty config, it's constantly reloading that, or it's watching that config file. If it changes, it just updates the entire session right then. Do you love having the camera only look at your backside? I wonder if I change it again, I should add I should add a reward for change Zillby cam angle. That would, then I won't have to worry about it, and you'll all have to tell me when to do it. Okay. Here, did I copy this? Let's do that. All right, so here's my Alacritty config. We're going to copy Alacritty, and we are going to put it in Alacritty in there. So nothing changed off the bat. So I believe I had the same font and the same size for everything. And those other things I don't think would really make that big of a difference. We should notice it. Okay, so there's that. That being said, I should now be able to do ZCA when I'm in Zellij here, and it opens up a new tab for course articles. We're dropped into Helix here, where I can just open up all the course articles. I'm also dropped into my this went to course articles here. I wanted it to go to playgrounds. Did I? Okay, hold on. I think I know what's going on. Oh, Zellij just didn't like that. Let's try this again. I believe that my playgrounds folder is named differently on this profile than the other ones. Let's try it. Yeah, it's playground, and I believe it's playgrounds on the other one. So let's change this. Okay, so now if I do ZCA, there we go. Okay, so dropped into Helix. I want to experiment with this branch description thing. I shared it out with Discord yesterday, the day before. It's an interesting idea. So what I can do is we can, inside of here, we're on the main branch. I can do, I have an alias for it, but the idea is that we can say get branch edit description. It drops me into a Helix instance here, and we can say, okay, what are we currently working on? We are currently working on, let me go and take a look. Oh, right, we need to finish the response with JSON. So this is the handling JSON lesson. So if I write that, now down here, if I rerun this, this is now just going to print this out for me. What this actually is doing behind the scenes, to get this out, is going to be a git config branch dot main. Now I can here write a little bit of inject code to figure out what the current branch that I'm on is, so that way I can actually get the message for the current branch. But in Zellij, it doesn't let me do that. So I have to actually type it in main. So we're gonna have to make sure that these are always, the description is always for the main branch. And then description. And that's what I'm printing out here. It is taking a bit of room though here. I'm not sure how happy I am with that. But it is like sort of a note, and I set myself up a shortcut key to sort of set all these up. So if I want to, I can just do GitHub set description, and that drops me straight in here. And then git description gives me that. Okay, let's try. Let's see, where do I want? I want to do. Nope, not that. Yeah, channel points. Let's add in a channel point. Where can I add in? Okay, so I have custom rewards. Oh, add custom reward. Okay, so this will be change Zellij cam angle. What do we think? Let's do 500, see how that feels. I don't have a reward icon for it, unfortunately. All right. Okay, so we've got all that. I think we're ready to continue. So we have responding with JSON. That's what we've been working on. And we have all this stuff that we've been doing. And then down at the bottom, okay, yeah, so we had the error if we don't have JSON be last. I feel like I need to rename this because this is extracting the JSON, and then I want to respond with the JSON. Yeah, okay, so responding with JSON in axioms. Yeah, let's handling JSON in axiom is now the new name of this. All right, so we have handling JSON and Axum. We have our objectives, JSON, set up a basic API, extract the JSON, where to put the structs. Okay, JSON extractor has to be last. And then we're gonna have responding with JSON. All right. We can also go and load up our playground, which I think we had in here, right? Was it the handling JSON? Oh, it might have been the Axum JSON. Oh, what's we're using exa. What's the exa to sort by time? Okay, I can do dash dash sort by time. Okay, so ls, so this would be the ls time. And then the most recent one is at the bottom. That's the one we want to deal with, right? So the 1st of September, which does feel like Friday. Let's open up that one. Let's see, we got all our stuff. So we have the game, we have the mod. Okay, so I'm slowly remembering this. Right, okay, so we're just debugging this out. So that's handling it. So then I want to respond with probably the JSON or something. Let's go ahead and get this started. Only 18 more days until we can play the best song ever? What's the best song? Or what happens in 18 days? Oh wait, 18 days. No, that's not like October. The 21st night of September. I don't think I do. I'm fairly not knowledgeable of songs though. So I don't get the reference, unfortunately. But maybe this year we can do it. How can I forget Earth, Wind, and Fire? So I have bad news. I was not somebody who went out and like actually paid attention to modern music when I was growing up. And when I say modern, I mean like modern at the time, right? And modern is like anything after my parents' music. So when I was growing up, all I listened to was my parents' music. So stuff from like the 60s. So I'm aware that Earth, Wind, and Fire exists. And I couldn't name any of their songs. It's really sad. Yes, but that's after the 60s. There was no music in my household when I was growing up that was after that. And then of course I went off and did my own thing, and like I am extremely not like, you know, or at least I wasn't very good at like exploring this type of stuff. So I just like skipped all of like the 70s and 80s music was like just skipped for me. So what we could do, and this could be fun, is we can create a I'll create a playlist for myself to listen to. I will. How do I create one right now? Playlist. Oh, I have no idea how to create it on the mobile app. Just like recent activity. Is actually the song named 21st Night in September? Oh yeah, it is. Why? Okay. Huh. On my list, it's coming up on just the name September, which is... Is that the actual name of the song? September? Okay. There it is. That makes more sense. Let me go ahead and save to a playlist. Can I do new playlist? The new playlist is going to be music to listen to because I'm musically repressed. Illiterate? No, not illiterate. Probably because I missed all the good music. Because I missed it. If I make this public, here, I'll do unlisted. Okay, I have one song in this playlist now. And I'll add more as we get suggestions, and then I'll make sure I listen to them. Okay, I'll make sure I listen to them with good speakers and not just like, my phone speakers. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? Responding with JSON. We have, okay, so the last thing we did was we took in JSON and we printed out that JSON to the console. So now I want to, now that we have, or now that we're handling, let's respond with some JSON. Should we just mirror back exactly what we got, or should we add something else? Okay, so how about this? In this case, let's pretend that we've added the game to a database, responding with the created game. Okay, so we have models game. Everything's going to be the same here, except I want the ID. I want to have like a pub ID, which is obviously going to be an option, and you're going to be an I32. I'm thinking maybe for this lesson, I create these as like a different model almost. Maybe. Because if I add in an ID here, it would work. Like nothing would change. I guess that makes sense. So in this case, let's pretend that we've added the game to a database and we're responding with the creative game. The only real change to the data would be an ID. Created. All right, so we have our game. We put our ID in there. And then, okay, so next. So how do I want to write this? We need to add the ID in. So we're in this router. We just got the game. We're printing that out. So I want to I guess I could do a response game. Okay, so if I do a response game, I don't have to like do this change here. So let's do a response game. I bet we're gonna need to add clone in for this. This is gonna be game from DB. Yeah, it's not gonna work, is it? We don't have clone. Two warnings. Language server not active. Why? Language server exited. Method not found in game. I'm a little bit more concerned. Why did you fail? Okay. I know that there's a Helix. There's this logs open. Failed to initialize. Oh, Rust analyzers are not installed. Huh, I thought, okay. Can I actually call, is it RA? No, it's not RA, it's okay, so it's Rust Analyzer. I have Rust Analyzer installed there. It doesn't know how to find it apparently. I wonder if I need to go back to having it installed with Homebrew, which I thought I had it installed, but oh, because this is in my I wonder if there's a different one. Okay, so if I do user, it's like user local, then I forget where Homebrew stuff is installed. Oh, yeah, that's just what I checked. I thought it was in user. The user. I don't think it's in Rust Analyzer. Whoa. Yeah, okay. So that's probably what's going on. If I install it with cargo, it's not getting exposed to your path. Well, the interesting thing, oh, because it's being added in by the cargo path thing, isn't it? Okay. So you're there. So then what I need to do is I need to link this to maybe like a local bin. So if I come back to here, do I have a bin? I do have a bin. What do I have in here? I have, oh, Rest Traverse, which we then started immediately ignoring. So let's do an ln, we'll symlink, cargo bin Rest Analyzer. Okay, throw you in here. So now I have two things. And then we need to update. So let's see. Let's update my ZSH config. Okay, where is my path? Okay, so I have home bin here. So this should just automatically start working then. I remember, I think I've just kept this forever. I think this is like a path that I've had for a long time that I keep on just like throwing in a home bin because I remember the time that wasn't in there. So if that's the case, then I shouldn't need to update you. You should be fine. I should be able to come back to you and let's reopen. Okay, let's do health rest. Okay, you found all the things. I'm in the wrong directory. So Axum, JSON. Okay, let's open up our routes games again. And let's see. Oh, exit it again. Immediately. Oh, it's specifically for Rust Analyzer is not installed for the toolchain stable Arch 64 Apple Darwin. Shouldn't that work? Or do I need to no, I should need a resource because it was already previously looking in that path and I just added it in there. That why you do this? Which okay, so you're that Rust Should this be the other one? Let's try that. Okay. That's that one now. Let's try this again. Yeah, this is today. 0904. Togglebit, hello. Welcome, and also goodbye. Thanks for the raid and run. For everybody else, hello Diablo D3. How are you doing today? How are you all doing today? And how was Togglebit's stream? What was he working on? More of the CLI TUI? Toggle stream for over 7 hours. Oh, I can't imagine. I'm exhausted usually after like 4 hours. Of course, I don't think I have much experience doing longer streams. So maybe someday we'll get to that point where I can do the long streams. So I would imagine that Toggle is super hungry, and that's fine. Scott, hello. It's almost there. He was getting output. Oh, okay. When that project is complete, it's gonna be amazing. I really want to take a look at it at that point in time. I think it'd be fun to sort of like make some CLI games that are like actually using some fun things. He's gonna eat everything in the fridge. I can imagine. I would probably be there too if I streamed for 8 hours. Starting to look really good. Nice. Excellent. All right. He said, the sharper guy. Hello. How are you doing today? He has a big fridge too. I mean, he has a family. The question is there anything in the fridge that the family's going to leave for him? But we'll find out next time he streams, which is, I mean, not going to be today probably. Wish he'd finished the TUI thing. I want to use it. I know it looks really nice, and it's something that I've heard a lot of people complain about, which is that most TUI frameworks are not, I was gonna say responsive, but I don't think that's the right word. They're not performant. So I know that Toggle's been working a lot on making sure that it's super performant, user friendly. It's like actually good. Like not like my projects where I make them for like to show off. Good lol. Well, okay. MVP and good. I still think like, yeah, it's good. It's good enough. It's good enough for us. I mean, just because it's good doesn't mean we're not going to complain about it. Like, I don't know anything that we don't complain about. And there's like, it's technical stuff. Every TUI loves Elm system. I hope you didn't go down that path. I don't know. I haven't been watching enough of it to sort of like get a sense for the architecture. Most of the times when I'm watching, it's like stuck on very like interesting parts of like rendering or something else along that way. And then usually have to work because Toggle usually streams when I'm at my day job or when I'm streaming. A normal dev, hello. Isn't Elm just transpiled to JavaScript? I think it's more of, I think what Stacking is trying to say is it's more of the style of Elm, because like, yeah, Elm is a language and it's transpiled to JavaScript, but a lot of TUIs, well, I mean, just not TUIs, a lot of frameworks in general tend to like to go towards like, okay, we're doing Elm style for this. it's Elm this, it's Elm that. So like React is famous for saying like we love, we're doing Elm style. It's not too Elmy. Okay, that's good. I mean, that's good as long as you're hoping for that. If you really want it to be Elmy, then maybe that's not good. I am open-minded for whatever he chose to do. I still want to make Pong and other games in it. And use it in not serious ways. Because I think that would be fun. Okay. So there's this. There's I want to say. Let me try switching over to my other profile here. Okay, so if I take a look at, do I have brew info Rust? Oh, I have this. Let's search for Rust Analyzer. Is it RA or is it Rust Analyzer? Okay, and I have it installed here. It conflicts with Rust, the other Rust Analyzer. Okay, I don't think there's anything crazy here. You just don't like how you have to keep mental track of the 3 different places Elm keeps state. I haven't tried Elm directly. So my only experience with Elm is like things that claim that they're like Elm, and then they always change. So I don't know how like accurate that is to Elm. But like there's definitely in like Vue and Vue and React and Angular and all the other, it seems to be all the other front-end frameworks that claim that they're like based on Elm. You have state in the component itself, so that way you have like every component potentially has state. You have a centralized state that you can have. Where's the third one? Because you can have a centralized store, and then each component have kind of a state. Maybe like just an app. Oh, there is like a sort of an app level state, isn't there? Oh, then you have messages. Okay, yeah. I wasn't thinking those as state, but it is definitely sort of like a state change type thing. So yeah, then the transference of data back and forth between them all. I can see that. All right, so we have here, this is Homebrew. Homebrew shows Rust Analyzer is installed. It's installed. So it's not user, it's /opt. I can pull this in first. So I can do opt homebrew bin. Okay, this is. Is that right? That can't be right. This is upset about the Rust version? Conflicts with Rust because both install Rust Analyzer binary. I got that, but I think this one is the only one working with Helix. This is from July 24th. So if I do a brew update, not update, upgrade. You don't think Helix has an upper limit on a Rust Analyzer version? I mean, it wouldn't make sense if it does, but it's sort of weird that it's not working. So try going into bin here. Oh, wrong. Okay, so I want to go into bin here. Let's remove our Rust Analyzer link here. So we just have this thing, and we'll do a opt homebrew bin Rust Analyzer here. So I have you. Ah, and that's working. Okay. I don't understand why Rust Analyzer installed by Rust and Rust Up doesn't work, but Rust Analyzer installed by Homebrew does work. I don't understand why that works. Why? Oh. No, that still doesn't make sense to me. Because like it's for this system. Rust Up does work on OS X. So like it should just work from that. It's weird. I'm not sure. Nika, hello, welcome. You got into Rust and Axum because the Axum playlist on YouTube. Oh, thank you so much. Also, I'm glad that is really helpful. Is Rust Analyzer in my path? Yeah, so it was in my path. I just changed it, but so if I did which, see if I could find a which up here beforehand. Yeah, so I had a which Rust Analyzer, and it was grabbing it from cargo bin initially. So that wasn't working. So I tried creating a link from cargo bin Rust Analyzer to bin, and then that was my path. I restarted Helix. It found it, but it didn't work. Then I just updated Rust Analyzer from Homebrew and linked Homebrew's version to bin, and that works. Well, it shouldn't matter, right? Yeah, that's also interesting that Brew hasn't been, I've been running Brew update and upgrade, and it hasn't been updating my Rust Analyzer. Let's also see, like if I do Rust Analyzer. Okay, this is now from yesterday. Okay, so this is now updated. Rust Analyzer links to your copy of Rust. I guess because Homebrew was telling me that it didn't want to update it anymore because it was unhappy. I could try that again. Okay, so we could do cargo install Rust Analyzer. Yeah, so that's not happy. And the thing is, it already is there. Huh, interesting. Dota, hello! Oh yeah, it's installed by Rust Up now. So Rust Up, is it add? Okay, let's do rest up show. So I have the Apple Darwin. We have Rust C 172. Can I see which components are installed? I feel like this one is modify tool change installed components. That's not what I want, right? Component list. Will this show? Is Rust Analyzer added to this list? Here's Clippy. What path did I put in languages? Oh, that's a good point. That is a really good point. Let's go take a look. Oh, right. It's not a folder. It's just this. Not that. Okay. All right. So for Rust, we have file types Rust. We use Clippy for that. Oh, heck, I'm just using Clippy. Oh, is the third one down? Okay, so rest up. Third one down. The LLVM tools. Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 and 6. No, 6 down. Rust Analyzer, Arch64, Apple Darwin. Okay. Now if we come back to here. Yeah, so I have command now Clippy, but I should probably, okay, so let's try, previously this was working. If I do, it's not going to find that, isn't it? Right. Oh, the other thing I can do, Helix, health, Rust. So it shows me, okay, so it's going to find Rust Analyzer. It finds the binary using bin, because that's in my path. Use LDB VS Code. Okay, there's that. Highly queries. Okay, so I think it uses my path. But what's strange is when I put a link to the other Rust Analyzer in my path, that doesn't work very well. Oh, kitty cat cam froze again. He changed positions. Okay, I was really hoping that that change I did last time would have unfrozen the camera, but it didn't. You have to put the desired path in languages.toml. Interesting. What's the... let's see, what do we need? Where is that? Okay. I wish they had just like a full one here. Or maybe this is. Okay, so for example, so command. Okay, so then your home directory, cargo bin. Interesting. Oh, and then they have all these here. Okay. Let's try that. So we want, so this is, oh, this config check command. Ah, so this is going to be in language. We're going to have command. Okay, so that's what I'm missing. Now, can I do not? NVim is clearly superior. It makes you have a path that isn't trash. That is that is something that's nice. I wish it would. Yeah, it's a thing, right? Now, can I do something like that? So can I go to home? Then we can do cargo bin rust analyzer. So let's save that. Open to the right, and we'll do Helix. Error parsing user config. Unknown field command. Tell TJ to hurry up with the 0.1 so we can have inline hints and we'll switch back over. It's I enjoy having competition between these. So that doesn't work. Now I could try just doing, okay, so I want to go to users, Zerker. If I do that, oh yeah, it says, okay, there's no command. I wonder if it's config.command. Oh, it's language-server. Okay. Invalid type string. Expected struct language. Okay, so oh, and then there's a command inside of that. Okay. So I want command. Okay, so now it found that version. Oh, it's loading. It's working. It's doing the thing. Okay. There we go. Now we get the version from Rustup. Okay. You think it's still looking at the homebrew version? Let's. This says it's looking here. Okay, so you're happy. Okay, that's good. Now, back to here, I would really like to not have this be locked to a specific directory. So let's change this to like home if I can. So come on, I really shouldn't have to hard code the full thing here, right? Don't Helix, come on. Come on, Helix. Why you do this? Is cargo in path? Yeah, so I have which cargo. Okay. I have only 2 paths, right? Yeah, okay. I only have this one path here. So, all right. We have home bin. Oh, the camera froze again. Home bin, user local bin. Okay. Oh, whatever was in the previous path. Then we have homebrew bin. Then rest up tool chains, case that. So I need to add in, so maybe before this one, we'll add in, let's see, home cargo bin. Okay, so if I do that, back to here, so then I need to just say good catch. We need to just resource it. Then we do our Helix. You found it there. Let's resource you. Okay, you found that version. And it immediately exits. Because I have to give it a full path, like a full directory. Why would you do this? Rust and Helix, come on. Yeah, so Helix claims that it found it, right? Like it says, hey, the binary for the language server is right here. And if I run which Rust analyzer, we found that one, which is a match. Cargo bin, Rust analyzer. Okay, so that's a match. And I got 3 mains again, which I don't know about that. Like CLI is fun today. I don't know why I have 3 mains. I don't know if that means I have to like quit out of everything and like reload it all. Maybe that would work. Let's try it. see for you. Okay. So open you back up again. Let's reopen you. All right, we'll start with health rest. So you found that version. We'll just CD directly there this time. So we'll go to books, course articles. Actually, no, I don't want to course articles. I want to go to that. Language server exited immediately right now. Is there like a health here that I could see? I don't think I can see a health in here. Set the language of the current buffer. Okay, Zellij just left and the camera's frozen. Cool. So, yeah. Did Helix update? They had to break something. Let's see what version I have. We have version 2305. Released on May 8th. May 18th. So it's not updated in a while. This is the same problem that I've had though the entire time. If I try to use Rust Analyzer in a normal way from Rust up, it doesn't work. And I guess that's the problem that I have here is that I don't want to have to set the Rust Analyze. Okay, can I link it? Can I link this? Will that work? So if what are you? You're going to homebrew. So let's remove Rust Analyzer and let's link cargo bin Rust Analyzer to here. So now we have Rust Analyzer linked here, which means so if I do rich Rust Analyzer, still the wrong one, right? We need to let's resource that. That was a pretty safe change. Brainless Society, hello. How are you doing today? Can you run Helix on verbose mode to see further LSP logs? I probably could. You think it's a bug? You cannot set home. Also, Audax, hello. How are you doing today? Good afternoon. It is morning here. It's at least starting to get, it's getting light outside. There's that. Okay, so what do we want to do? Can we run Helix in a verbose mode? So I can see logs. So when I run it, let's open this up over here. So code playgrounds axum JSON. So if I no, well, okay, this will be fine. And then log open, we go to the end. Okay, so here's all today's log stuff. So we can see, okay, in reverse. Can I? Okay, so I can add to this. Let's try this again then. Exited. All right, so here's stuff that happened. All right, so Rust Analyzer is not installed for the toolchain stable arch 64 Apple Darwin. So it's not installed for this toolchain. It failed to initialize this language server. Stream closed. So this is I don't have to add like any extra stuff. We just get these as part of our logs. So the Rust Analyzer that it's attempting to load is not the Rust Analyzer that I want it to load. But what's interesting is that if I load the Rust Analyzer directly from .cargo, that works. And if I load the Rust Analyzer from Homebrew, that works. So what other Rust Analyzer is there to load? I don't think I have a third Rust Analyzer on the system. But both those two work. You're writing a game emulation server for a childhood game, and you've been struggling to decide on the architecture. As in struggling, you don't know how to do it, or struggling that there's many choices and like you don't know which one is the best for your situation or which one you want. That's why we need a scripting language. Most problems will just be solved with some proper scripting. Yeah. Okay, so Odex, you're struggling with the choices. Okay, so do you want advice for like what I would do for that, or is this something you're gonna solve? If you want my sort of like my thoughts on it, I do have some thoughts. Although I don't know how helpful that is. Yes, please. Any advice? Okay. So there is this idea in programming, which is I do it a lot myself. I'm not certainly very good at it yet, but it is sort of a practice. It's a method of programming in something called domain driven design. You know the domain already because you're just making it. You're making like something for this game, an emulator for this game. But a subsection of domain driven design is called supple design. And supple design is supposed to be one of those like chef kisses, like, ooh, it's just perfect design. But that part doesn't really matter. What really matters is the idea of how you get there, which is you just start. Because like you're just trying to figure out like what I'm going to do, and then every time, like, okay, you got to the point where you're accepting new clients and you're handling basic packets, and if you get to the point where you have to make a decision and you don't know what the right decision to make the best decision you know how to make right then, but don't worry about it too much. And as soon as you reach any pain, it's refactor / rewrite time. And that's it. Like any pain at all, you immediately switch to a refactor / rewrite. And if you have tests, like if you're doing test-driven development or you have lots of tests, I guess like after the fact in your system, that's going to be less painful. And then by the end of the project, you'll know that you have the best possible architecture for everything. And unfortunately, when we're working on something where we don't know what the right architecture is going to be, that's what we have to do because we're in chaos land for the most part. And there's no prediction in Chaos Land, and especially if you haven't like built a lot of these, there's no way for you to know. So it's a fancy supple design is a fancy way of just saying just try it and rewrite it if it's wrong, but now with more information. RustUp has a shim that asks you to install the component. Make sure the location where you put Rust Analyzer is before RustUp in path. Oh, okay. So RustUp has a shim that asks you to install the component. Make sure the location where you put Rust Analyzer is before RustUp in path. Now, I was trying to put it here so I can say, okay, I want to go to home, cargo, bin. But RustUp's going to be in there too, right? Okay, this is definitely beforehand because look, here's RustUp stuff. So it's definitely before this. Xanax Matt, Mr. Hello, finally streaming. Yes. I know I do skip on weekends, so you think you have to. Oh, you think you have to listen to the advice the first time having to do anything with games? I mean, you're imagining the issues you might come into already, but every solution has issues. You don't know what's going to be more painful. Yeah. So, what's his name? Like the Godfather of programming, Donald Knuth. Super famous for a lot of quotes, but one of his most famous quotes is, "The root of all evil is." Pre-optimization. And now a lot of people are thinking like pre-optimization is about like trying to make things faster, but it can also be considered for solving problems that you haven't encountered yet. You're basically solving a problem. Well, okay. This gets into like a more of a like a human brain thing. We're really good at inventing potential problems that we're going to run into and then solving them. So that way we don't run into those problems. Unfortunately, we're good at making up problems that we'll never run into at all. It's super like this skill was super helpful. Well, I mean, it still is super helpful, but my guess and my understanding is that it was designed around, okay, look, there's like 4 lions off over there and I need to get to the food and they're like between me and the food. So what's going to happen if I move to the left? Like 3 of the lions are going to break off to the left and hunt me and kill me. So I need to go maybe to the right. But if I go to the right, and so you're like coming up with different problems and you're also solving them right then, which is great when you can actually see all the problems. We're working on like very weird things because they don't exist in the real world. And so it gets really hard. And we can come up with an infinite number of problems that can happen in our code bases. So I like what Jamal Roy is suggesting. Make it work, make it better, then make it fast. Don't worry about anything, especially if it's not the domain that you're expert in. This is your learning project, right? So just do it and then force yourself to accept that there's going to be errors because you're not planning for them, but then only solve the errors that you actually run into. That's my suggestion. All right, Brainless, there's an issue. It's a Rust Analyzer issue. I'm surprised it's not a Helix issue. I want to see if there's a Helix issue for this. So far, not seeing anything. Diablo. No, I just ignore the errors. Then I go play Factorio. It's so funny that you're like choosing a coding almost type game, like an architecture game for that, because then you switch to a game in which you're going to have the exact same problem. I guess it is a different domain, right? Okay. Yeah, it is. I even chose C# over Rust for once, since it's a real prototype exploration project. Nice. I mean, the entire big thing is just small steps, right? Like baby steps for everything. Congrats, Xenix Mister. Uh, and hope that your dinner goes really well. Okay, so I didn't see anything about like Rust Analyzer not working here. You're doing Pionodon? I have never heard of this game. It's like Factorio squared. I have a problem that I collect games that I don't necessarily play. But it's a mod. It's a mod. Okay. Never mind. I can't go find that on Steam. I was gonna say like I'm gonna go add that to my wish list, but is it okay? So it's probably just like adds a whole bunch of stuff. That's fun. I need to someday finish Factorio. I actually played a little bit of it on stream a while ago, like a long time ago, and I never finished it. That's fun. I Yeah, I need to finish the base game before I would think about going to exponentially worse. Oh yeah, that's true. I was thinking though, like maybe there was a open issue for Rust Analyzer because, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's fixed in the more recent issue version that hasn't been deployed yet. Helix health Rust is perfect. Language server exited. Well, that is something that's happening. This was in July of 18. Okay, so they have basically showing the one from Rust Analyzer. Okay. What? Oh, it's been converted to a discussion over here. Let's see. Is it a problem to use stickers from other streamers? Do you mean emoji? As long as it's like the normal emoji. I don't have like, I think that's fine. If it's not fine, I'll let you know. How about that? Like if it turns out that there's any that are like, truly not good or not like good for this community. Okay, remove the homebrew version. Just put Rust Analyzer and language of TOML so it may look in path for a cargo version. Yeah, we can try that. So here, let's. Okay, so I want to do a brew, remove rust analyzer. Okay, so it uninstalled homebrew version of Rust Analyzer. So that's gone, which means that, just to double check, if I cd to opt homebrew bin, this should not show Rust Analyzer anymore. So that is gone. Okay. And I don't have like a Rust, right? No, I don't have any. Yeah, that started with like run. That's not what I want. Okay, we'll try that. I got behind in chat. Sorry about that. Let's see. Now we know how they feel about this issue. They did convert it to a discussion, which is good. It just, GitHub's interface made that look like it was just like a normal close. So it's like, nope, not fixing or something. I wish that like they should probably show like something a little bit better when it was converted. You heard for newbies who want to learn programming, is this time really hard? Because when someone is doing it, for example, a boot camp, they're starting with React, Next.js, and so on. What was my first language? It depends. It's surprisingly complex to answer. Like the very first coding that I ever did was by typing in basic, not Visual Basic, basic, into like from a book into the code, and then you just like rewrite the entire thing if it doesn't work. And that created like little games in the terminal. And this was the basic version that came in the ROM that PCs had way back in the day. If you were around back then, you know what I'm talking about. I think right now is simultaneously the easiest and the hardest time to get started learning programming. I don't know. I think it's a lot easier nowadays than it was back in the day. But I think there's probably a lot more landmines. But it's also harder to figure out how and what to dive deep on. Oh yeah, there's so many more. The paradox of choice is real. Your first language was Visual Basic 6. Game of Life. Yeah, nah, I did. You did an agenda in Basic. Nice. You didn't program in binary codes. No, I did not program in binary. I do not. I have not programmed in binary. I've never programmed in assembly. I dropped out of computer science in school because they started teaching us in Java, and they had no support in the college I was in for like how to do it, and they didn't sort of like tell us how to do anything. So like I had on my own computer, which I want to use my own computer, I had no idea how to like compile it, because the only thing I'd ever worked before in was JavaScript. And I was like, okay, well, JavaScript is just open up a browser and it just works, right? So how do I just get it to just work on my computer? I didn't realize that I had to like download the Java compiler, and then I can compile it for my system, and then the Java runner to run it at all. And he never explained that. So that's fun. You programmed in assembly, so therefore I must be younger than you. I'm not sure that's exactly how it goes. I just avoided it. Was it devastating when you dropped? In a way, yes and no. I decided to switch away from doing any kind of programming. I was like, you know what? Never gonna program. Not for me. I did a minor in computer infrastructure technology. So I learned networking and I learned systems administration. I learned stuff like that. I then went, after I graduated from university, I got my CCNA. So I got my Cisco certification networking associate. I hate that they put certification in the name for that, so I can't say certificate after it, which I really want to. And then I proceeded to not use that, and I got a job being a systems administrator at NASA. And I did that for 8 years. And at the end of that, I'm like, oh, wait, I've been programming this entire time. Like, I've been like going and doing shell scripting, and I've been like writing these other little, like I wrote like a C program, and I did some other stuff. It was like, oh, that's what programming is. It's not just like running your brain against like, Java or something. It could be something else. And so, yeah, it's that. So yeah, that's my long way. Then I did a boot camp for JavaScript because it had been so long since I've touched any JavaScript that I was like, what is this asynchronous programming? What's going on? And it took me forever to like sort of figure that out. And then CSS, I use that. So that's been my journey throughout the programming sort of world. All right, let's see. I missed some more stuff up. Diablo, you want to know my age? I am 42. I am ancient compared to a lot of people in this space. You've debugged C code by looking at the assembly. I've managed, the C code that I wrote was more for scripting type stuff, like, really simple programs. So I debugged it just by print statements or printf statements, I guess is more appropriate way to do it. I am not God. Sorry. Could I please share? Okay. So for Sheriff, hello. Welcome. How are you doing today? Could I please share my Vim configs? You want to use it with NeoVim. Unfortunately, I haven't used Vim in a while, and I haven't used NeoVim in slightly more recently, but still not like much this year. So yeah, normal dev is correct. I've been using Helix. Helix is not compatible with NeoVim. Sorry about that. But Demora, here, you gave a NeoVim config. Awesome. I'm 2 years older than you. How? Well, so, I mean, I've got this thing called time, and I was just born 2 years before you. May I share my career experience? Did I work at Fame or some big tech? I worked at the biggest tech that I worked at was NASA. Specifically NASA Ames Research Center, where I was part of the NAS, which is the NASA Advanced Supercomputing, which I did that for 8 years. I was a systems administrator there for Macs. I was not a sysadmin for the supercomputers. Why do I use Helix? Because it's nice. Specifically, I really like the fact that it's a lot less config than NeoVim. NeoVim, I feel like it's super easy to get into like a not working state by making too many changes. I want something really simple that I don't have to spend too much time configuring, and it has the inline hints. There are hints in NeoVim, and you can do them at the end of the line. And soon they're going to have an update to make it so you can have them inline, and then we'll have to like think about like, do I want to go back? Do I want to like just restart? Maybe I'll just start with one of your configs, and I'll just go with something like that. Have I ever used NixOS? I have not. I've heard of it, but I've never used it. I guess like when I was a sysadmin, I did all of the stuff. Like, okay, whatever, we use Red Hat. So I would, I set up Fedora on my own system because I didn't want to pay for Red Hat. And like I did all this stuff. I set up servers. I had like all sorts of custom stuff in my house. And then I stopped being a sysadmin and was like, I am tired of like configuring, like spending so much time configuring things. I really just want things to work. And so I stopped doing that. You turn 40 in a month. You don't want to be old. Well, what's fun is that if we're all hanging out together, we're no longer old. It's being old is a relative thing. So if we all just agree, everybody else is super young and we're normal age. Do I miss driving on 295? I don't get the reference. Sorry. Let's see. Abdebra. I cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry. No, I keep on like trying to put something. Abdelrahman. That is not easy on my tongue. I'm sorry about that. Also, hello. And then a Helix user, yes. It's been fun, except for today, which has been not fun. The visual mode all the time made you get confused a lot. I switched it around. So like I show here I basically highlight the entire line and I put a different cursor in for a block if it's normal mode or not, because like you cannot tell if it's in insert mode or edit mode. It sucks. I heard once you turn 40, you just turn into dust in the wind. That's true. Like it's sort of like being a vampire. I can like reform whenever I feel like it. Abdel Rahman. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Oh, it's an Arabic name. Arabic name. If I think it's like the I have dyslexia, and so like the letters all close together like that when I'm trying to read fast is like tripping my brain up, and I have to like slow way down to get it right. So sorry in advance for screwing up your name an unknown number of times in the future. I mean, yeah, like Windows can be a lot faster than OS X in some ways. I did spend 8 years being a Mac sysadmin. So I'm, it got to the point where it's like, okay, well, this is like, it's ingrained in me now. So I also have like a lot of people that have switched over to Apple from where I was working. So I had contacts there as well. So it's just something that I do. I don't really expect or care if anybody else uses it. It's an Arabic name that means worshiper of God. It's a very nice name. Nice. Okay. NASA Goddard is on 295 in Maryland. You assumed you worked there. You worked at NSA, which is also off 295. Okay, no. So NASA Ames is in California in the it's in the Silicon Valley. It's like down the street from Google. So it's really far away from Maryland. If you had said like 85, that would have made more sense. Or 1. Sherifer is also Arabic name. Nice. Am I eager to learn new languages, or am I satisfied with the stuff you know now? That's an interesting question, because I try to just be satisfied with what I know now, and I'm always eager to learn more languages if there's a reason to. At this point of time in my life and my career, I'm not going to go out and like search for new languages just to learn them for no reason other than learning them. But if I get a job or I need to learn them for any reason, I am eager to learn that because I love learning stuff. But so I guess here's where you want to get in your career. You want to get to the point where you can take a job that has languages that you've never used, frameworks that you've never used, and you can become proficient in dealing with them in a very short period of time, where you can just sort of like just jump on it in hours, if not like a day or two. And the more senior you are, the more you can do stuff without having actually like any knowledge about the thing at all. Okay, I can also just say ABD, and you don't mind. I will try to remember. I really would love some kind of like note system, the way that Discord has them in Twitch, because then I can put little notes and like then I can highlight names and like see like, oh, I put this thing in here like that. But they don't have, Twitch doesn't have that. Oh yeah, if you try to go from Linux to Mac, yeah, that's not going to work very well. Mac is really great to go from Windows to Mac, but from Linux, like you're really losing a lot of features because Mac's just been so slowly stealing them from Linux and then claiming that there's like the first thing that they've invented it. They've never had workspaces before, whereas like Linux is like that 1989 call. We've had it forever. Windows, Mac, Linux. Oh, that's a good one too, because like Mac gets you used to the terminal, and then you go to Linux. So that's good too. I just end up having all three all the time. So I have Windows, I have Mac, I have Linux, a bunch of Linux servers sort of hanging around, and then it's like, it's a thing. The moderation flags don't really put a custom message. I don't have mod. Do I have a mod view? I just have my normal view, and I'm always terrified of like accidentally banning you all. And I only take a look at this stuff when I'm streaming, so I don't really have time to like go through and look at it when I'm not. So there probably is a way for me to do that. King, hello. I'm doing good. How are you doing today? Oh, from Linux to Mac isn't as bad from Linux to Windows, though. I would guess that's true. Absolutely. I went Windows to Mac, and then Linux, and then all three. Like, because for a while I mained a Linux computer for a few years. And then I was like, okay, well now I'm just going to do all three. Because might as well. Unix is older than Linux, so I mean technically one stole from the other. That's also true. In 2015, 3 years after the MacBook Pro was bought, you went to Windows 10 on desktop. And you kept Linux on a headless box under the disk. Oh yeah, because like Apple made it really easy to put Windows on MacBooks. Yeah. Which would have been perfect for them had they like that entire time kept their devices as like the fastest possible. They're only getting back to that now with the M chips. Linux invents the features, Macs use them, and everyone was like, Mac is awesome. Well, that's because Apple marketing is really good. You stop using Windows at all for quite some time. It's a torture to use it nowadays. I switched to using Windows again when there's a couple different reasons for it. some of the like OBS, I was running into issues on a Linux machine with it. It's probably better now, but like just minor little weird issues. And on Windows, I never had that problem because like people always program for Windows first, and then they port it to Linux, and then they port it to Mac. So either they write it for Mac first or it's last. It's or not at all. That's usually what happens. But when I'm programming, I don't usually worry too much about like other program type stuff. So I'm perfectly happy with that. Like if I was going to do gaming type stuff, I would probably just do Windows computer, Steam Deck, Mac. Mac only because I'm used to it and I like it. I like their hardware. Their software is okay. You're doing all right. Your head is feeling heavy today. Not sure why though. It happens to me when there's a lot of pressure changes. You went from Windows to Linux and you haven't looked back. That's a good change. I mean, Linux is a really good operating system. I mean, if you find the one that you really like and you can get out of tweak hell. So like you're not just constantly tweaking it and doing that instead of having fun with it. All the server people at your company have a vendetta against Linux and will only accept BSD. That's a choice. That's a choice they made. Yeah. Like Red Hat is a good operating system. It's just really, really painful to use because it's so out of date for everything. So if you want to modern, up-to-date anything, you have to compile it yourself, essentially. It sucks. But everything else is great. You tried to do Windows and Linux at the same time, you just couldn't do it anymore. You kept on using Linux. Yeah, I dual booted for a while on a system and then I just never booted Windows. So I just like, oh, okay, well, if I'm gonna have them both on the same system, I'm just gonna have Linux. And nowadays with Proton, do you really need Windows if you have like a good desktop for Linux? Boot camp was nice. You do miss it once in a while and you have to use Windows for work. Luckily, I just never have to use Windows for work. And when I do, I just have them give me another computer for it. M2 chips break on even perf watt versus Ryzen. Oh, well, yeah. There's they're new. They're new. So you have to give them time. And then everybody will update. Oh, sorry, Ryzen. I thought we were talking about video cards. Yeah, the AMD Ryzens are really good. I think the thing that the M2 chips get better than the Ryzens though is heat, which is really nice, and electricity usage. But that is what Apple optimizes for over anything else. Heat, and so they can keep the fan noise down. That is true on normal dev. They Mac users really don't even know what the operating system is. It's just the thing that comes on their computer. Diablo, you ended up dropping boot camp. You just removed OS X, and then yeah, I mean that's perfectly fine too. M1s are such a pain for us. The company, really old microservice infrastructure. Some of the services have dependencies which are not available. Oh yeah, if you have old stuff that runs on it, that sucks. I remember when I was a sysadmin, like when the Intels came out and we had to switch from the PP. Oh, I forgot the name of the architectures. That sucked. That was really, really hard on us. most Apple stuff. So like, we used to be able to joke a lot about the Apple tax being so big. These days, I keep on looking at like other stuff. It's no longer just the Apple tax. Now there's a tax on everything that's like the high-end stuff. You have to go really cheap to not get taxed. And by taxed, I mean just like the overpriced thing. Even Microsoft admits Linux is good. Microsoft has been using so much Linux stuff behind the scenes. Azure is like essentially just all Linux. You use Fedora, it is amazing. Fedora I have a soft spot in my heart for Fedora. And yet I still, whenever I set up a personal computer, I just use Ubuntu because I'm lazy. TSMC's magic, yeah. So M2 and their newest Ryzen, basically they're just using the same thing. Let's see. All right, I finally caught up to chat. Excellent. Now we're sitting here with this stuff, this fun stuff, with like language server not working properly. So I uninstalled Rust Analyzer. The Apple stack still hurts. Mistacking does have to remind me that I spent $3K in a computer. What's problem is like I went to Dell to look at some of those recommended like computers for a laptop, and it was like within only hundreds of dollars of Apple, not thousands. It was gonna be the same amount. So like to me, like that was when I started thinking maybe there's not as much of an Apple tax anymore as there used to be. So I looked at a framework. And I've been burned really badly by those type of like modular laptop systems in the past. So I really hope that they succeed and they work out. And I am waiting until I want to give them a few years to make sure that they actually can go the distance. Oh yeah, no, I've heard the same thing. I've absolutely heard the same thing with Framework. Everybody who I've heard of who has gotten one has loved it so far. What I want to make sure though is that they as a company survive long enough that I can buy one and have the notebook last for like 10 years, 8 years, and then still get updates out of it. Like be able to swap out, because that's the entire point. If they go out after like 5 or 6 or 7 years, that's not going to be a thing anymore. So that's what I want to see is like, do they have the staying power for the long term? What I really would hate is for them to get purchased, for frameworks to get purchased, and then start doing more modern like VC backed type things that you see all the time nowadays, which really sucks. System 76 is top notch. Yeah, talk about a tax on that. That is expensive. All right. We've been trying to figure out this. Okay, so you're still looking at that. Let's try sourcing again. Oh, look at that. I have 2 mains. Oh, it's whenever I source, I get another main. Interesting. Okay, so now pointing at there. Okay, so if I Helix you again. Language server exited instantaneously. So this is after I I uninstalled the version of Rust Analyzer from Homebrew. So I only have a single Rust Analyzer on, which really sucks. So is there a way for me to tell Helix that I have a specific, like, use this languages on this device, use this languages on this other device? That's the only other thing I can think about for this. What is this? I don't, okay, config, let's get rid of you. Move that sync conflict stuff. Is all I, what is this runtime? Do I need that runtime? So I was trying to use Rust Analyzer here. Let's remove that. Let's try this again.
The most important thing is that we're able to be one-to-one. You and I.
Okay, so you know about that, and you're fine.
That's what's important.
Exited immediately. And it's exiting from the same thing over and over and over again, which is this: Rust Analyzer is not installed for the toolchain stable Arch 64 Apple Dharma. Do I have to update the? I have this toolchain installed, don't I? Stable Arch 64 Apple Darwin. Yeah, that's installed and it's default. That sucks. Well, okay, so I don't know if we can compare the MacBook Pro update to framework when under type thing. Like, the entire point of framework is that I can modularly, like, replace the video card and modularly replace the other things. I've like if the core point of me getting the system is that I can modularly replace those things, then I want to be able to do those for the, for as long as I have it, which is going to be many years, because after I'm done with it using it as a primary system, it's usually going to turn into a server. Sylvie, hi. No, you don't wanna. Okay. You're over there on that thing now. You rebooted your Dell XPS laptop, which has a touchscreen, and now when you have a Windows back on it, the touchscreen is not working. It's probably a driver or something else. So usually what happens with that kind of thing is Windows itself doesn't necessarily recognize the device. If you go to Dell's website and support sections, they should have like things to install to tell it, hey, it's working again. So you probably have to go find that. Not the video card, by the way, a single piece mainboard. Oh, I thought the video card was a replacement thing. I guess I'm wrong about that. People are making third-party cases to make tiny little desktop servers out of the old boards. Ah, I love those. Those are great. The touchscreen's not there. Oh man. The worst comes to worst, you may have to contact their support and ask them for the link. And hopefully their support knows it. Okay. I don't understand why. So like talking about Windows versus the Mac or Linux, this camera now just freezes. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I tried plugging it directly into different places. I plugged it into a USB 3 port. It's a USB 2 camera. I tried it on 2. It just instantly freezes, or it feels like it freezes after like a half a minute. And if I like turn off cat cam, turn back on, that didn't help. If I turn off for longer, yeah, then it's fine for a very, very short period of time, and then it's going to freeze again, which I don't really understand what's going on with this. It's the best freeze, yeah. Okay, it hasn't frozen yet. Mod Prague, hello. You had that exact same problem with your HP laptop. I do remember I tried an XPS and I never got Windows on it. I just installed Linux and that was fine. It was a fine day. All right. Well, that's still working for Kitty Cat. So I am not. So why do this? Okay. So this works though. If I update you, so if we do, what is it? Language server, the command equals Zerker cargo bin rest analyzer. Oh, it froze again. He's facing the camera too. Okay, let me try cat cam. Let me try resetting the defaults. Oh, weird. Now it's yelling at me about FPS. It's like it lost the camera. Is that the right one? Ooh, USB camera? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, you were lying down facing the camera for like a short period of time. That was. Oh, he's probably getting hungry. Sylvia's doing the thing where he's staring at me, which usually means he wants me to feed him. Kata always hungry. He does feel hungry. We had to put him on a diet. He successfully lost his weight, and he's barely forgiven us for that yet. Okay, so let's try this. Let's install Rest Analyzer from that. So then over here, why are you not working? My keyboard not working? Okay. Keyboard's working. all. Oh, this port is going bad a little bit. Or maybe my, oh, I have USB-C converter. Maybe that's not happy. But okay, so you found that. So let's do Helix open here. Language server exited right away. And it's still the same thing. Should have found that. Is that not the right version? Okay, so I want to do users Zerker cargo. What are you doing back there? Bin REST analyzer. Oh, look at that. So when I try to manually run this, REST analyzer is not installed for the toolchain stable. Hi there. Anything you want? Yes, like you're. Oh, his tail's not high enough for you to see, as he. Okay, Zellij just passed by in front of me, so that was fun. Hey, you want to go back? Is there nothing here? Wanna... I mean, yes. When the camera's working, okay, you're passing on me back through, okay. Oh, the camera's still, okay, the camera did not freeze this time, so that's a good sign. All right. What's up with this? Was this that error that you were talking about? Was that the error number? I can't remember. The cat's gender is orange. The cat is a he. It's a he, him. Okay, well, he left the room. But cat is also orange. Yes. I do find it funny that recently Jackson Galaxy was made aware of the one orange brain cell subreddit and felt the need to make an entire video about how orange cats are not that, which I thought was hilarious. Okay, so you installed this. It was working before. After updating with REST up, you're getting this error. So this is using Homebrew essentially. Okay, I found where you found that thing. So REST-up has a shim that asks you to install the component. Make sure the location where you put REST analyzer is before REST-up in path, but that doesn't make any sense. It's worse. They don't only have one brain cell. All orange cats have to share it, and sometimes it's not their turn with the brain cell. So my interpretation of that is that Orange Cat's the one brain cell is like the best brain cell. RustUp but Rust Analyzer is installed with RustUp. It's installed automatically. So if I do RustUp, not show, it's RustUp components list. Oh, look at that. It's not installed. Why is this not installed? It should be installed by default, shouldn't it? Can I reinstall what I want? I thought it would. I could swear that I saw an update about Rust saying that it was installed by default. Yeah, okay, so let's install this. Let's do a cargo. Is it remove or is it uninstall? Rust Analyzer. Cargo delete. I thought I installed it through cargo, but maybe I didn't. I can just delete it. Yeah, so we can do. Let's double check. All right, so Rust Analyzer is its own thing here, so it's not a symlink or, well, I don't think it's a hard link. So move Rust Analyzer. Let's just remove that. Well, the RustUp path is RustUp in here. RustUp is not in here, and it's definitely not in there. Static binary. Okay, perfect. So let's do a RustUp install. Okay. It's like a component, right? Component install Rust Analyzer. I don't think this is going to work anymore. Analyzer. Which Rust Analyzer? Not found anymore. So it's gone now. And if we want to take a look at our path, here's our path. It's not fun. Let's go into this one. This path is a little bit easier to see. So I have home cargo bin as the very first thing in here. I know, interesting, right? Now here's the thing, it did not ask me to install the component. It just complained that it didn't have it. So, I don't know. Steadier, hello. Oh, hey, we were chatting on Discord. It was you who were asking for daily tasks and clarity to choose between theory, tutorial help, projects, open source contributions. Can you guide me? Yes. Let's first start with some guided questions. What is your goal? Like your real goal? Like your what do you want in the end? Okay, we'll do a RustUp. Add Rust Analyzer, and it should hopefully work. You think you want a job. Okay, so let's step backwards from that, right? So you want a job. Presumably you want a programming job, right? So what you want? Money and fame. You want the American dream. Okay, so here's a really cool trick that I learned a few years ago. This is a visualization trick. So the idea is we say, okay, we are there. Congratulations, you got it. You got your job, or you got your money and fame. You got your American dream, whatever that means. You've got it. Congratulations. What was it that you did to get here? What happened? And then step backwards from that. Okay, well, I got the job because I, passed the technical interview. Okay, how did you pass the technical interview? Oh, well, I passed the technical interview because they were asking me questions about React and, JavaScript or whatever. Oh, okay. So that means you have to learn that. But how much exactly that? What exactly did they ask on that? Keep on going backwards. Cool. I think my computer is having a little bit of trouble. It got a little bit wet yesterday and everything seemed to be fine. And so I thought everything was okay, cool. But unfortunately, that's not a cool thing that happened. Hold on, let me get back. So one of the benefits of using two computers to serve everything here. Yeah, OBS is on the other computer, so everything is fine. Yeah, GPU driver compiler crashed. Yeah, it was a full. It wasn't a reboot. That didn't reboot. It just a log out. And I had to log back in, and it's bringing everything back again. That's fun. I'm gonna after this, I'll probably rerun a few things to make sure everything is okay. And if not, I'll have to get support on it or something. All right, anyways, but everybody, all of your names changed colors in chat. Oh no. That's not helpful. Okay, so what I was saying is you go backwards. Go backwards in oh, I got this thing. Then write all those things down of what you did, and that becomes your to-do list for how to get there. Now you can go forward with that to say, okay, you're getting there. And if there's any I don't know question, you have to go and research that first. So if you don't know what's going to be on an interview, for example, then maybe you have to just get an interview. Go get an interview. And if they're like, oh, we won't give you an interview at all, well, why? Okay, go get that. And then go get the interview. Okay, now I failed the interview because they asked me about React. Okay, have to do that. I believe that you can set the color that you want, but if you don't set it, it's going to be random every time. I believe that's how that works. All right, let's see if I can get this working at least. Diablo 3, you are still red. Oh, it didn't crash my Zellij. Attach? Okay, how do I attach? It's just A. Cool. Okay, so this is still fine. So what were you gonna do? I don't have a paste buffer anymore. I'm gonna do a rust up add rust analyzer. Found argument rust okay, that's rust up. Oh, component add rust analyzer. Okay. Component download failed. Cannot download from that. Okay. Why? Open it Open in my browser? Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's find out if this even exists. Okay, so it's a tar GG. Oh, that didn't copy? Yeah, I'm trying to have that. Oh. Okay, hold on. It's fine. I can't do that. Let's do this into temp. Whatever. Temp out. Oh, this is an error. Okay, so to temp out. Retrine. Interesting. So it happens multiple times. Wait, really? I want to yank sections to clipboard. Why won't you let me paste? Restore your session or you'll be sorry. Oh, yeah. That's what's happening. Okay, no, never mind. It's not happening. I know. I don't understand what's going on with this. I hope I don't need to... Well, there's a few things that I can try to do to reset hardware and firmware on a Mac. But if it's actually damaged, I need to like actually take it in and have it figured out, which sucks. I wonder if I can peruse that. Static.rust-lang.org. Oh, sometimes I won't restore correctly. Yeah, that's also possible. Let's try quitting out of this. Like keyboard commands are working just fine. So like, I don't think, oh, okay. Here's another question. If I come here, if I type that, copy, delete. So copy paste is working. So it's not like copy paste is just like failing for this. It's more of Alacritty and Zellij is not working properly in here. Possibly Alacritty. So if I quit out of view, everybody out. Goodbye. Go away. Let's try this again. Helix temp out. Okay, you're joined to clipboard. There. Now I can go there. Probably not Alacritty, it's Zellij. Okay. That downloaded. Okay. That downloaded. All right, fine. I love that. Why, what the F? Why did that download? It looks like a real file. Hold on, I'll take a look at it. Okay. It's basically Zellij and Alacritty, or probably just Zellij is making me think that my computer is broken. That's what's really going on. I wonder if Zellij also caused the logout to happen. Like it did something with the video card was having trouble. This is fairly long for the stream, and I've been doing a bunch of jumpings back and forth with that. All right. I've been doing a lot of things that cause logs and errors. All right, so we have this. This is a tar xz, so it's zipped. If I do an info, no, it's not info, it's file on it. So you're compressed. So xz, I can use tar. Now it's been a while since I've done it, so I can extract, file, rest analyzer. Or what's the thing where I can do tar? What's the thing where I can have it test it? Like don't do it yet. There's a thing with tar where I can have it. Oh, it's T list. I think it's list. So it's tar T file Okay, so it's going to create a folder named this. And then it's going to put all these things in there. Okay, so tar extract file, and it looks like it's going to put them into a folder like this, which means I don't have to create another folder for it to go into. So we'll do that. So here we are with you. Rust analyzer preview. Oh, then there's an install script. Okay, so it's a bash script. It's impressive how clean and nice this script is. Usually when I see like a script for install, it's pretty messy. They're using functions. Oh, the way you do team. Okay. Yeah, so I tried to set that up, but apparently I thought I tested it correctly. But I guess like Zellij crashed. And so like maybe some weird stuff caused that to stop working, because it certainly was working even earlier today. Send the configuration for Helix. Yeah, so that is my configuration for Helix right now. OSC52 will always survive detaching and weird issues. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll have to take a look into that. OSC52. I don't think I've ever played with that before. What's that? Is there like a good... Oh, interesting. Okay. There's no good docs in anything, to be honest. That is what I remember from the old good. That is what I remember from good old sysadmin days. There's never any good documentation on this. Alacritty accepts OSC52 without any configuration. Tmux has to be told to do it. NeoVim has to be told to do it. How do I tell Alacritty to do it? Because I wish that Alacritty had multiple tabs. But I can't. Okay. So theoretically, this is the right Rust analyzer, right? So I can just run install. You're attempting to put it into user local lib rust install. I thought you'd normally put it... Oh no! Oh, you don't need to tell it to do it, that it supports it automatically. So I screwed up. Oh, and then, oh, Zellij. I need to add Zellij to Nightbot. Let me fix that. Thanks. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Diablo D3. I added in Nightbot to whitelist zellij.dev links. That should still work. That should work again if you could try it again. Okay, so OSC52 is basically a special character which a terminal app can output that tells the terminal copy the next text I output instead of writing it to the screen. All right. And then now I can do this. Some terminals don't support the signal, which is the method Zellij uses by default. Okay, so you use that by default. So I think, oh, I attempted to switch to this. But I think maybe that was a mistake. Okay, if I'm not in Zellij, can I do rust up here? Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to see what happens. Really? Okay, I was really like sort of thinking that maybe RestUp was not happy with Zellij for some reason. But okay, it just started working. I guess me hitting it with a browser. I wonder if there was temporary CDN failure. It could be that well, okay. If there's coming from the sysadmin, if there's any weird errors that aren't explained by anything good, the best explanation, the best guess is usually DNS. So probably what may have happened that we'll never know for certain is that my system's DNS didn't have the right thing, and so it wasn't doing whatever was correctly. I went to the browser, and the browser updated my system DNS, and that was fine, and then everything was okay. Okay, Helix has the OS. Okay, so let's fix that next. So let's go to config. Oh, right. I wanted to do this the other way too. Go to code, Brooks builds. Don't I have? I don't have Helix config. I did not download Helix config here. Okay. We have Alacritty config. Let's start with this. Do I have anything for copy paste? I don't think I said anything else, or I don't think I did, but maybe I overwrote it, and that is going to make it not happy. Yeah, terminals almost never support anything else. That would make sense if it's just what works. But it is a new thing, so I wouldn't be shocked if there's some weirdness that's going on. I should learn page down. Also, the reason why I'm not doing a find is because I don't know necessarily what the line's name would be. So I'm not sure what I'm finding. The line doesn't exist? Okay, cool. So then we're good at that. All right, so it's not Helix. Let's go. Next would be, I don't even have Helix here, so we need to go grab that. I wonder if I could do this. We're gonna do GitHub repo clone Brooks builds Helix config. All right, first try. Go into our config, and in here, wait, was it Zellij or Helix? If I set nothing else. Okay, I don't think I've set anything else. So, line numbers, soft wrap, file picker, cursor shape, the LSP. Okay, I don't think I've said anything else here. There's that, and then finally we have Zellij. Zellij config. Okay, so here we have copy. Yeah, so we have the command pb copy. So if I take you out, the default, provide a command to execute when copying the text. The text will be piped to the standard end of the program to perform the copy. This can be used with terminal emulators which do not support the OSC 52 ANSI control sequence. That will be used by default. Okay, so just unset you. Let's copy config to I didn't need to go out of Alacritty. Okay, so now if I, so I just restart Zellij, everything's fine. All right, so let's try this. If I copy you, I should be able to really. Oh. My mouse just died. I have a wireless vertical mouse, and apparently today is fun hardware day because it just ran out of batteries. So I have to use the trackpad, which I have on my left hand up here. So select you, text copy to system keyboard, clipboard. So if I, okay, that goes to that. No, I don't. This, I don't know if how good you see it, but that's all I've got in the bottom. So I don't have anything. and like pressing the numbers usually would like have them light up or something. It literally just died in the middle of all of that stuff. That's really cool. Usually I get a little notification somewhere, but I must have missed it. Okay, so pretty much OSC works with everything. Excellent. Okay, so that's happy with that. And then finally, the last thing. So Helix is supposed to work with that. So if I just open up Helix, we type a bunch of stuff. Maybe new thing to copy. Now, if I want to, so that yanks it to a register. I guess like I can yank it to clipboard. All right, that's working. That's working as expected to now. Okay, fun times. Oh, and if I copy this way, yanked main section to primary clipboard. That was not a Zellij message. That's a Helix message, isn't it? That doesn't copy that. Yeah, it looks like a Helix message because the Zellij message was green, I want to say. So when it says primary clipboard, whoa, that to me that means the system clipboard, right? But I think what they mean. Oh no, okay. Keep on going for that mouse, but it's not going to work. Okay, so if I go here, oh, paste doesn't work. Primary clipboard is X11 language, i.e. primary. OS X and Windows only have the single clipboard, so it doesn't go anywhere at all. So I wonder if we can go to Helix. So I want to select. It's probably not select. Ooh, selections. Maybe this would be a configuration though. If an app copies to primary on non-X11, it goes to your system clipboard. You probably need to swap your YY usage. Well, wait, what's Y? Which one's which? I've been using. Oh yeah, join and yank selections to clipboard. So if I've selected multiple things, put them together into one thing. Yank main selection to clipboard. The thing is that Y works here for me. So if I select this and I do Y, that puts it into system clipboard. But if I select it, that puts it to the primary clipboard. So I need to update that. So we need to find configuration for whatever that is. All right. We find for select. Oh, it's probably maybe clipboard. No, not clipboard. Primary. Okay, let's go back to select. Yank? Oh, let's find yank. No, nothing in here for that. Yeah. Also, hello, Dan. How are you doing today? So wait, is Y copying to system clipboard or not? Yes. Y is copying to the system clipboard. Just selecting with the mouse is copying to the main clipboard. So what I need to find out, is there something here in config but if I select, I can't paste it anywhere. There's nothing. Like there's no, it just goes into the abyss. It goes to dev null essentially. If I do Y, well, okay, hold on. There's so many things going on here because there's two Y's. So if I do Y, so if I come here and I like say, okay, I want this to copy. So I do visual like that and I do Y. That yanks it to a register. At which point I can now paste that in. I know. It's like this is the old sysadmin in me that like but and then I have to hold myself down. So when I have no self-control, I go into like settings mode. And today, like I'm already past my end stream time anyway. So it's like, we're not getting anything done today. I wrote like a couple sentences before we got sidetracked by like everything not working the way we wanted it to. NeoVim with the OSC52 plugin copies to both OSC52 and the register recently yanked and the P pastes from the register, which makes sense. So Y on its own just goes to the register. If I select this and I go space Y, that takes it to the system clipboard. So OSC52. If I select here, so hold down and select, it yanks the selection to the primary clipboard. I cannot use P on that, and I can't like control V on it because that's not what I copied. That was something else. So Helix, I don't know what it's doing for there. It's like my guess is that they've programmed it to work with Linux systems, and it's not going to work with Mac or I guess Windows by default for that specific thing. And I have no idea where this is, and there's no titles to each of these. It's like there's the editor section. Status line, the LSP, cursor shapes, file picker, and then soft wrap. So there's nothing here for that. So yeah, there's that's not something that I can do apparently. So cool. All right. Well, I think my computer is still fine. I think it was Zellij making me think that maybe it's not fine. So that's cool. All right. Should we try to like finish writing at least a little bit of this thing? Where are you? Why did you go to my home directory? Can I like look at the current directory? Show directory. It went to Brookzerker. We ran this before. This one, okay, these two went to Playgrounds. That's fine. The entire point from me setting this up is that I don't have to think. Okay, so I'm still on course articles. Okay, we close that up. So we have course articles here. This is attempting to take me, okay, so go to home, code, Brooks Builds, course articles. So if I come here, and I want to CD, nope, CD to there, no such file or directory. I am Brookzerker. You like how simple it is to configure Helix, though? I do like that. That it does feel like it's more of a configuration thing than like a programming thing. Wait, so I'm confused. You said that this doesn't exist. So home. So users. Brookzerker. Code. Oh, is it underscore Brooks Builds? Of course, it's underscore Brooks Builds. It's the underscore. I bet that's different between my two profiles, which of course causes it to have problems. Of course. So if I switch to this, go to code, you're a dash. That's what's happening here. Am I back to me? I think I'm back to me. Okay, so let's do that. Now I can go ZCA. That pulls me in here, and we're good to go. I know. It's fun for multiple profiles is fun. Okay, so I want Axum handling JSON. Go to the bottom. There we go. Okay, so we have this is what we've added today. Now that we're handling incoming JSON, let's respond with some JSON. In this case, let's pretend that we've added the game to a database and we're responding with the created game. The only real change to the data would be an ID that is created. Let's update the model for the game to have an ID field. Since this model is used by both incoming and outgoing games, we'll make the ID an option. And an option. So there's that. We do that. And then let's also add clone to the game so that we can clone it in the route handler, and let's do that. So we'll have you over here. We'll do okay. So I want models game. So I add clone for you. You're happy? The LSP isn't working. Cannot find binary path. Cool. Oh, fun. It never ends. It never does. It never does. Being a sysadmin means that you will never, ever, ever do anything other than, yeah, make sure my path is what I think. So first of all, can I find this? I found that version. How about... I bet I don't have that. Vim? No, Helix. It must not be in cargo bin. I tried, so I installed it with Rust app, which means, okay, so it's not in cargo bin. That absolutely, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's no Rust analyzer in here. Okay, so this is in that. Let's link this. So is there like a bin in here? There's not. Huh. Why does Rust Analyzer... Why is that witch showing a double slash? That doesn't seem right. On Rust Analyzer, we go to... Let's go to bin. I'm in slash. Oh. Okay, do that. Come back to here. Well, I'm not sure it's helpful. You're still finding that one, despite you being in been? I'm guessing it must. Oh, because I added it to the exact path. That's why. So that one it found there. So if I remove that one, okay. Yes, it's working. Excellent. Okay. Then we have to add you. Clone there. Welcome to Footgun Stream with your host Brooks. I mean, I used to joke with anybody who is asking like, why do your computers break so often? It's like, because I'm a sysadmin, or because I was a sysadmin. It's like, oh, well, why? Does that mean you know what you're doing? It's like, no, it means that we just tweak with things and play with things when we shouldn't. Because we can't help it. That's what we do. It's what we do. Why does a mechanic have a broken down car all the time? Exactly. It's like, like people are like, why are you so willing to do RM-RF like so fast? I'm like, because if I remove too much, like I know all my stuff is in the cloud. It's like, when you know you're breaking stuff all the time, you don't fear breaking it because you know you can get it back. Like I can rebuild this computer pretty fast when I completely screw it up, and that means I screw it up a little bit too often. That's fun. It's fun. Okay, so we get that. Now we have clone. We can now say, okay, let's do. Hold on, what's this? Okay, so I finally got the game from the DB. Let's make this mutatable. We're gonna set the ID. The game from DB. ID equals to sum. This is 42. And then we're going to return the JSON game. This create game isn't being used. It's not being used. I don't know why I uncommented that out. Okay. Cool. So that's what we need to do here. All right. So let's also add clone to the game so we can do that. Now in the route handler, let's clone the game. The game we let's clone the game, add the ID, and then we're going to return the game in the JSON response. We also will set the return value for the handler to be a JSON game. This is Okay, so Y yanks to that, so I have to do that Y, and then I can do that. There we go. So now when we hit the route with what are we using for this one? Oh, I'm Thunder Client. Thunder Client. We get the same details back with the ID set. Okay. And just to make sure that's what I want it to be. All right, so we were creating last time Vampire Survivors. If I hit this again, we get ID 42 back, and we get that back. Excellent. And that is handling JSON in here, and that's fine. So next time, tomorrow morning, the plan is to create a video for this. So hopefully it'll go smoother than today. Let's go ahead and save this all. So you are all this is what I really care about saving. And we can do this thing. So hold on. You're in the wrong directory. You know what? It's gonna be faster if I just create a new window. Oh, it remembered. Fine. Okay, so I renamed it. All right, so I'm gonna commit. We are finished. MVP of XM handling JSON article. So there's that. I get push you up. I want to also get sets description. And so now I want to record video for Axum handling JSON. Okay, so there's that. Now if we run that, when we come back tomorrow morning, that message will be waiting for me, so I don't have to think about, hey, what are we doing next? It's just there. It's what it is. So now I can Control C and leave all of these things. Zellij does have this problem where, like, as I'm exiting out these windows, they're not going away. Which, like, and if I tried to, like, do this again, like if I come here, let's not do it while this is open. Let's go out of this. No, it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen. If I Control C this one, like if I click into there, Control C again, it crashes that entire window, which is cool. All right, so you're all happy. We're all good there. I think we got everything pushed up. So I should check to see if that's a bug. Do we have Zellij open here? I have Helix open stuff. Where's the link to the Zellij? Repository. Okay, what would this be? What can I search for this? What's the progress of all the lessons and all that stuff? I have like 40 to go or so. I need to do a recount and like do a full count of them. but yeah, we have a lot. Pane, exit, close. Let's try pane, exit, close. This is like an and, right? So it's searching for all of these together. Panic while closing main terminal pane. Panic on exit. Okay, so it could be one of these. Could be that one. Could be that one. Okay, so that's not that one. Oh, it could be that. It's okay, so it has to do with resizing or like figuring out or calculating. So I close the pane. If I close the pane, it's like weirdness because I'm setting the sizes on them. And if I set the sizes with percentages, it sounds like it's going to work. But because I often work with my, like if I'm not here, I might be at a cafe with my notebook. I want to use that size screen instead of like this size screen. So I don't always have the same size terminal window. So I don't want to use percentages. I want like that thing at the bottom to always be like a couple lines, and that's it. That's all. Interesting. I think that this bug is related to this one. So I don't think there's a need to do a new bug. But interesting, yeah. All right, there are a bunch of us here, but Kuvaman is streaming. Kuvaman is doing NixOS stuff, it looks like. We were chatting about NixOS, even though I've never used it. But he's also working with Rust stuff, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. But let's set up a raid for Kuvaman. Oh, could you tell me where to put your config files for Helix when I have exactly what I have so you can use it for Rust, but you're on Windows? I have no idea. Where does it go? They should say where it goes. So this is for Helix, right? Yeah, Helix. In the Helix documentation, it says under configuration, right here, Windows. It goes under app data helix config.toml. That's where. So go there, and that shows you where to put the config files to then supposedly have it work for you. I've never tested this on Windows, so this will be a good test to see if that works. CDM, is the age of Rust nigh? I mean, sure, why not? It's also the age of all the other languages. Like, unfortunately, all the ages are now parallel in different threads, and we're all just sort of jumping back and forth because we're all multi-threaded now. So it's the age of Rust. It's still the age of C++. It's still the age of C. There's many ages. All right, I have to go copy Kuviman's username again. Let's do raid Kuviman. All right, everybody, thank you for hanging out with me. We streamed for like an hour extra today, but that was we didn't end up doing that much either. We did a lot of sysadmin stuff. That's fun. All right, so I'm gonna go and relax for the rest of the day. Tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. Mountain Time, I should be back for a normal stream time because I do have a day job again back tomorrow. And we'll be recording a video on the JSON stuff. So at least I have to focus up for a little bit for that. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.